Hello, my name is Nick Swanson, and this is my final pop culture project podcast number two. I just want to start off by saying thank you for listening, and I hope this is somewhat entertaining and informative, as I'll try to be as efficient and explain things as best as possible. So to start off, some of the labels that society or myself that I use to describe myself as kind of pertains to who I am would be I am a student, a father, a son, a husband, a gamer, an athlete, and Buddhist. Those are the only ones I could really think of off the top of my head. I'm sure there's a few more, but those are, I guess, kind of the main ones that explain who I am and what I like to do. The label that I would like to select from this list would be Buddhist or Buddhism. Um, the things um, that I've bought, earned, or made related to this one aspect of who I am um, would be that I ended up finding my wife through Buddhism. Um, I guess not through Buddhism, but I learned a lot through meeting her. I was very curious about it. Before I met her, I watched many YouTube videos, listened to philosophers, and um, just learned about the overall history and um, kind of the stories, the origin stories, and everything where Buddhism began and kind of what it represents. And I was very, very curious about it. And when I finally met my wife and asked her about it, and she said, "Yeah, I'm Buddhist, and what do you want to know?" And so I have learned a ton of information through her, and not just even like learned it from her telling me, but just learned it from observation and going to different religious events uh, and stuff like that. I've been kind of, I guess, honored to hold like one of the Buddhist monk umbrellas as they walk during one of their kind of processions during like the Buddhist temple kind of New Year and different events like that. Um, so I have had the honor to do that. I've also at these events I've helped out like um, repairing some like kind of tents and stuff and just helping out like I guess the monks and the community as best I could when they needed help. It was a really windy day and the stakes were coming up and I have a skill set that I'm familiar with that, so I knocked down a couple stakes and helped out tighten up their tents, and they were very appreciative of that and thanked me, thanked the family, my wife's family that I was with, and I feel like it just goes a long way for all those different things that I've kind of earned and made through it. They're not necessarily mere materialistic things that I've made, um, but just like lessons I've learned and just ways of looking about life and just the way I kind of carry myself in my daily life. I think has been completely changed since I kind of found this religion and started learning about it through my wife. Um, it's a no pressure religion. There's no one begging you to be Buddhist. It's something that you just kind of pick up on your own and just kind of follow it on your own. There isn't anyone really guiding you um, or showing you step by step what to do or how to do things. It's just you kind of have to know um, how to be respectful and how to respect your elders and um, kind of just certain, I guess, smaller rules that come with it. You know, you just always have to be usually lower than the monks. If you're in like the same room as a monk, if you're taller than them or you stand up higher than them, that's a sign of kind of being disrespectful. So I've learned these kind of newly found traits and newly found um, ideas and practices kind of that go along with this religion and some of their events that I have attended. Um, So after meeting my wife and learning more about Buddhism, I found out that I um, kind of earned the respect of her family and her elders by doing this. And um, one of the main things that's very symbolic to me throughout this whole journey um, has been a golden necklace that I received from my wife's grandma. Um, and she's from like Laos and Thailand originally, as well as her mom. And this necklace, I'm sure, has made quite the journey throughout their travels and their story of escaping that area during the Vietnam War. So this necklace has a lot of ties, and it's probably been through a lot of different hands and worn on a lot of different necks. Um, so when my wife and I got married, we had a Buddhist ceremony, and this was the gift that her grandma presented to me in front of everyone, and I haven't taken it off since. So she's put it on, and I've never really been a necklace person at all. Maybe worn one in my life for like a day, but ever since the wedding and this gold necklace got put on me, I've never taken it off, and it's just something that's been passed down through her ancestry and through her grandma and family members and stuff. So I just feel very honored to wear it, and I feel like it was a way to kind of connect my family with theirs, and that is a sign that I'm accepted and that I am, loved and trusted to, be a watch person, I guess a caretaker in a sense to my wife, and making sure that she's always taken care of and that she's safe, and that I treat her well, and that um, there's some balance and unity within that. Um, so I wear it every day. It's part of me, part of my life. I get this sense that it is protecting me and has a stronger value than just what you see. Um, I'm not really. I guess I am a little bit into superstition and being superstitious. I'm a hockey player, so um, I have certain things that I have to do before games and kind of prepare to, um, I guess give myself the best chance of winning or the best luck. So this is one of those things that um, I am kind of superstitious about, and I definitely feel that there's been a handful of times where I've been close to danger, or close to getting in a accident, or a car hitting me or something, and somehow I've been protected and safe, and things have gone in my favor to help alleviate me out of those kind of scary situations. So it's a huge connection to my wife's heritage, which is also super important to me. Um, I grew up in a Christian based, I guess, household, predominantly Lutheran, which I am, and then I went to a private Catholic school in elementary school, so I got a lot of exposure to Christianity, kind of the ins and outs and differences between the subgroups, such as Lutheran and being Catholic as well. So I kind of knew the differences between those two, but I really didn't know much outside of the Christianity branch. There's not much, I guess, for open-mindedness within my family when it comes to that. It's pretty closed off and clean cut that, hey, you're Christian. Nothing really, I mean, there is stuff out there, but we're not going to teach you about it, and it doesn't really matter because you're a Christian, so I never really got any opportunity to learn anything outside of my, I guess, boxed out uh, lifestyle throughout my childhood. So this was something that Buddhism, when it was brought to me, it was very appealing and very relatable, and I felt like I could um, kind of get on board with the philosophy and the lifestyle that it came with. So um, it's been almost 3 years now. In a few weeks, it'll be 3 years since my wife and I got married. I've worn it every single day since we got it, and I've never taken it off. I don't plan on taking it off. And this is something that I'll carry with me my whole life, and something that I'm proud to wear. And yeah, the next category is kind of why do I have this artifact? What does it mean to me? Um, when I use it, kind of what signals am I trying to send out through the world? So I kind of explain this a little bit, but I can go into more depth with it here. So I have this artifact because my wife's grandma trusted me and welcomed me in into the family by giving me this golden necklace as a sign of trust and respect that I would always watch over my wife and make sure that she is safe and protected, just like this necklace allows me to be safe and protected as well. I feel like um, this artifact definitely helps me express my identity since I've just kind of recently unlocked this facet of my life. Like I mentioned earlier in the podcast, before I met my wife, I was super curious about Buddhism. Um, I knew the kind of background story, but I never really met anyone and never really got a chance to kind of pick their brain about being Buddhist or Buddhism in general. So when I met her and she told me she was Buddhist, I was really, really excited to learn much more and to be kind of integrated into the lifestyle a little bit and be able to kind of give it a test drive, so to speak. Um, so this necklace is definitely a part of who I am now after almost 3 years, and this is something I represent. Uh, Something that when I wear it, I represent that I like wear my emotions on the outside, and try not to bottle anything up. That's, I guess, the main philosophy of Buddhism is to kind of wear your emotions on the outside of your body, and it's okay to show emotions, sadness, anger, happiness. It's when you start kind of bottling those things up that it becomes unhealthy, and you lose a sense of identity. I feel like, and a sense of just being human, if you just turn off your emotions and just become some kind of robotic type drone. Um, that's not something I want to be. I want to be expressive and I want to be emotional in a good way for the most part. Um, I know sometimes if I don't eat, I get really hangry, hungry and angry. So I don't like that side of me, but I definitely have my emotions on the outside. When it comes to that, I'm like those Snickers commercials. It's like, hey, just gotta eat something, you'll be fine. Um, but yeah, it helps me really externalize my beliefs that I'm normally internal about. I'm generally a pretty closed off person at first when it comes to meeting new people and putting myself out there. So this necklace does kind of help provide me an outlet to have a kind of conversation starter. I've had people ask me about it and compliment me on it, and then that allows me to kind of open up my story, which I'm kind of telling you today. Uh, so it's really awesome that it can help me kind of have this conversation starter and allows me to show my pride and my beliefs and kind of the way I like to carry myself on my everyday life. Um, so I definitely really, really enjoy this Buddhist golden necklace. It's a huge, important artifact to me. Um, it definitely allows me to send these signals out to the world about who I am and kind of my newfound um, beliefs and kind of the way I structure myself and my philosophies, my morals. Um, so it just helps me express all those different parts of my identity and allows me to kind of flourish and be who I want. Whereas in past religions and stuff, my past experiences, um, it's been kind of just a not so positive or memorable really experience. It's just kind of going through the motions and doing things because I know I have to do them, um, which is fine. That's the way a lot of people are raised, and the way that they grow up is just the way that they were taught from a young age, from as little as they can remember. You always know one thing and one thing only, and I don't know too many families out there that teach the whole broad spectrum of religions and allow a child to pick something which maybe will become more mainstream as time goes on. Um, but for this circumstance, I just feel this necklace makes me feel very comfortable, allows me to feel safe and protected in my own shoes. Um, it also protects me from some of my external issues, which um, are anxiety, some self-doubt, um, definitely self-deprecation. I don't feel too strongly about myself, so self-esteem. Um, it kind of allows me, like I said, to flourish and blossom into the person who I want to be, the person I envision in my head, but just sometimes can't get out there. So it helps me provide me with this confidence that I've never really seen before, and I was never even close to having before I kind of took on this Buddhist transition, if you want to call it that. So in conclusion, uh, Buddhism is one of my labels that I picked, and the artifact that I picked as a golden Buddhist necklace that I received for my wife's grandma. Um, this kind of pop culture, I guess, in a way, and artifacts intersect um, into these expressions of my personal identity, and allows me to kind of branch out and put myself out there a little bit more than I normally wouldn't do. So something that allows me to kind of tap in to something I was missing out on before is just huge to me, and allows me to move forward and progress in life the way I want to, and also um, provides me with values I can pass down onto my offspring and to my children, and also um, be mindful that there are other religions and other kind of avenues to teach children about, and not necessarily just box them out and into a corner and force them to do one thing or another, but to teach them that there are options in different ways of life and different philosophies and morals and different parts of people's identities out there, and that they all should be respected equally and be made aware of from a younger age, I believe. So some examples of other people or friends or public figures and the way they cue onlookers as to who they are through artifacts. A few things that kind of came to mind is I know, especially with the necklace topic, I know a lot of baseball players, I don't know if they still do, but they used to wear a certain kind of baseball necklace that was kind of like a braided, multicolored, like clip necklace. I can't think of the name of it, and I never really wore one or got into it, but it's something that came to my head when I thought of this necklace and Buddhism and being an artifact and part of a personal identity. These baseball necklaces, I know it's like every baseball player had them at one point. It's a huge trend in it goes mid 2000s to about 2010, maybe 2015. It started kind of slowing down, um, but that's one thing that the baseball players wore. It was part of their identity, part of the pop culture. Was huge. It was all the kids had to have it too. Everyone looked up to these baseball players, so they had to have one. So if you were a baseball player and you didn't have one of these necklaces, you were not part of kind of the it crowd, or part of the mainstream um, pop culture rush towards this artifact. Um, so that's one thing that definitely came into my head as far as artifacts and them identifying kind of uh, how it explains them, and how it expresses their personal identity. Um, so yeah, in conclusion, I really enjoyed this project, and I feel like this is very fitting for me to end on something that I feel so passionately about. I just want to thank my teacher and my family and everyone for allowing me to go through this process and being patient and understanding, since I know I unintentionally have disrespected cultures and religions because I just didn't know, and I was unaware and uneducated. Basically, is what it came down to. So I'm just happy that I broadened my horizons and I kept an open mind, and I found my soulmate who happened to fit into this transition very well. And yeah, it's one of the best things I think that's happened to me, and I can't believe I've never been a necklace guy, and now I'm all about it. So it's kind of funny how that works out, and how it gave me confidence, even though before getting married, before transitioning to being Buddhist, there's no way I could imagine wearing a necklace and walking around and being confident with it, and almost getting excited for people to ask about it or compliment, and then I can tell them kind of my story that I told you today. So it definitely hits home to me, and has helped benefit me in many ways, helped teach me a lot of things and about respect and culture and open-mindedness. So Yeah, I really appreciate this project and being allowed to do a podcast or my second podcast. I hope to do more of these, even just for fun or for school as well. Um, it's something I can really look forward to doing, and I do feel passionate and get excited about doing these. So I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did talking, and I will end it now. And I hope you have a great rest of your day, whatever day it is. And yeah, thank you for listening once again. Bye.